Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, very excited because I've been wanting to review this foundation and I actually did a wear test a while back and I just never got a chance to film the actual footage. Unfortunately, I think I deleted my wear test, so I'm not gonna be doing a wear test, but I have been wearing this foundation quite a bit because I actually really like it. So I'm gonna do a video today on the foundation, just kind of applying it and showing it how it looks on my skin, and then I'll talk about my experience with it, but it's not going to be a wear test. However, I have worn it for 8 and 12 hours and it's been really good. I'm gonna look for my footage, and if I do it, it'll be at the end, but probably it's not gonna happen. But yesterday I got a random PR package, didn't know it was coming, and it is for this Moondust eyeshadow palette. So it is the Urban Decay Space Cowboy eyeshadow palette. It is a limited edition. It is for the holidays, and I love the way, now I'm not one for like packaging like this, I'll be honest. I don't like packaging. I do like that it's thin, but it is not flat, so makes it hard to store. But I'm 48, like I don't need a star, but I do like it's kind of cool. So you kind of open it like that. So that's the packaging. It is based on the very viral shade Space Cowboy, which I think I just got it recently. But anyway, these are not, this is like the Space Cowboy shade. I'm gonna talk about them in a second, but these are like the Moondust shades, but they're not, this is like Space Cowboy something else, like it's inspired by. But anyway, this is a limited edition. It's $49, which I think is overpriced for 6 shades, right? But when you consider how much the Moondust shadows are, I think they're like $25 or $24 each. It kind of makes sense that maybe those shadows are a little bit more, but you've got 2 regular mattes. You've got 1 matte with like shimmers in it, and then you've got the 3 Moondust shadows. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna try it, see how I like it. I love the shade, so I know I'm gonna like this palette. But we'll see how much I like it and what I would say is like wait for a sale. But they also sent me one of the Urban Decay 24/7 liners, and this is in the shade Space Cowboy, which was exciting. So it's a light shade. It's a eyeliner, but it's very, very pale. So, but I do really like it. I love these liners. These were like my holy grail for a long time. I still have quite a few of them. So I do like, I like the shade. It's definitely different. It's got like, you know, a shimmer to it. So it'll be something different to add, especially on the lower lash line, where I don't like to get too dark under the lower lash line because that can age me. So anyway, we're gonna review that. But then the foundation is the one that I got a while back. They actually sent me 2 shades. It is the Face Bond foundation. So I have 2 shades, 10 and 12. Both are light neutral. I'm pretty sure, I know I've been using 10, but I also don't have a tan. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put it on. I'll talk about it. Well, I'll talk about it at the end, and then we'll talk about the palette too. Okay, so first up we'll talk about the foundation. Now it looks like it's not a lot of product, but it actually is what you get in any normal foundation, which is 1 fluid ounce. Like this is the standard. It's just that they didn't use bulky packaging. So it's very lightweight, which I actually like because easy to store, easy to travel with, really like that. So here are the 2. So this is the 10 and this is the 12. And it states Urban Decay Face Bond Self-Setting Waterproof Foundation is a buildable medium coverage foundation that absorbs sweat and sebum for a natural looking matte finish that is both smudge and transfer resistant for up to 24 hours. And I will say that has been my experience. I have combination skin. So I have used it with, when I did my wear test, I used it without a primer or a setting spray. But since I've used it now just on my own, I think it's really, really great. Like it can be a little drying, you know, in the beginning, but as your oil starts to come through, it really looks really nice and natural, and it lasts really, really long. So I have really liked it. It is $40, and let's go ahead and I'll just swatch the 2 shades on my face so that you can see what they look like. So this is going to be the 10 light neutral. So this is the one that I have been using. So there you go. And then here is the 12 light neutral. So it does oxidize a little bit, but I'll let it settle for the skin and then we'll kind of just compare. Okay, so funny enough, I actually bought the 10 Natural because I went off of the thing and then they sent me a PR package. So I have been using the one that I used because I got it after I was already using it. looking at it, and I thought 12 would be darker, and I thought the 10 was a good match. However, looking at it, the 12 is actually a better match. So I'm gonna use the 12, just kind of shows you. So I still have the 10, I've been using the 10, so, and I've used it quite a bit. So I haven't used it on camera though. That's the one thing I haven't done. I haven't used it on camera, but I've used it on the weekends because it's really easy to use and it lasts a good while. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and with the 12 because I think it is a better match. They're pretty much, I think what it is, it's the undertone. It's not that one is lighter or darker, it's just the undertone. Now the 10 does seem to be a little bit lighter, but I'm gonna try the 12 today. Okay, so they also sent me these little clips, which I love, so I'm gonna put them on. Okay, so you'll see here the, it is a really good, you know, it's got the viscosity word that I learned from watching Marlene Estelle. You know, look at that, it's really good. It's not too watery, but it's also not too thick. So I am going to go ahead and put it on this side of my face so that you can see the difference. Now I will say, if you have any dry patches, it will cling to it. It is kind of a foundation that if you have any dry patches, which sometimes I do because I do use tretinoin, then you just need to be careful because it will, you know, just kind of cling to it. So I don't use it when I have, you know, again, any dry patches. Okay, so here it is with the side with the foundation. Here it is without. So I think it just gives a beautiful coverage. Now I don't have any primer on today. I just used my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Water Cream. And again, beautiful coverage. I think it is a very nice medium coverage, and it is definitely self-setting. Do I set it with a light dusting of powder? Absolutely, because I do that with everything, but I don't have to go heavy-handed, and it does self-set, like where, you know, if I touch it, you know, I try not to touch my face too much, but it does self-set, and you do feel that. I do let it set a little bit before. I do put a little bit of powder because then I can kind of go very, very lightly, and I don't need to use like an oil-absorbing powder or something that's very thick, something that's like mattifying, because it just doesn't need it, but just kind of maybe like a finishing powder or something just to set it. So there you have it. That's the side-by-side with and without. Let me do the other half of the face and come back. Okay, so here it is on my face. So what I'm gonna do now is I am just going to finish up my makeup with some concealer and brows, etc. Then we'll come back and do the eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I actually had to go pick up my son from school, but I went ahead and just put a little bit of powder, blush, brows, a little bit of lipstick. Now we're back. So let's talk about this palette. So it is called the Moondust Space Cowboy Glitter Eyeshadow Palette. Now they came out with like a quad with like 4 Moondust shadows, which I thought was really cute. But this one is the, you know, an eyeshadow palette. So you have 2 mattes, 1 matte with like glitter, and I'll go through all the shades, and then these 3 glitter shadows. So I went ahead and did some swatches in natural sunlight. So here they are. From left to right, we have Vibing, a soft peach nude matte. VIP Only, a muted rose pink matte. No Sleep Club, a warm brown matte plus magenta glitter. A-List Energy, which is a peachy pink shimmer plus magenta glitter. Endless Party, a cool brown shimmer plus silver glitter. And then the Space Cowboy Rides Again, a light peach shimmer and silver glitter. So it's a shimmer and a glitter. And honestly, I thought they were really pretty. Now the Space Cowboy looks very similar to what I remember of Space Cowboy, but I don't have that shade. I looked, I can't find it. If I do, I just can't find it. But I thought it was a really pretty palette. Again, this is $49 though. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say this is overpriced. I think you're paying for the packaging. I think you're paying for the shades. So I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to have it. You know, I think I'm gonna really like it. But that's pricey. I mean, you have the quints from Pat McGrath, which are still made in Italy. Those are 38. So that's going to be cheaper. Now you only get 5. The little minis from Natasha Denona, I think, are at 29 now. I haven't bought them in a while, but so I do think that this is a little pricey, but you know, a lot of times this goes on sale, so I think it will probably be good when you get it on sale. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do just what I always do and just try the shadows. I haven't used Urban Decay shadows in a while. The last I got was like a mini of the Wild West. I still have it because I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow declutter soon, and I hated it. It's just not good quality. I used to love the Naked palettes. I ended up decluttering them as I got into other eyeshadows. These seemed a different quality. They don't seem as dry as I remember of the Naked palettes, but I don't know if they've upgraded the formula. I really have no idea. So what I'm going to do is what I normally do. Now there's no mirror or anything. I am going to go in with this shade right here, the pink matte, which is the VIP only. That's going to be my transition shade. And then I'm going to use this one is the matte with the glitter. I'm going to use that in the outer corner. And then I will try and use just all 3 shimmers. This I'll probably just kind of use as like an inner corner and the base a little bit as well. But this is kind of a shade that I kind of think is like a lost shade. So that's kind of like, I really kind of feel like it's a quint because that shade is kind of one, I don't know. It's maybe I'll use it as a brow bone, but I like using like a highlighter as a brow bone highlight. So that's like the one shade I think when I swatched it, I was like, okay. So let me go ahead with that VIP only and go in as the transition shade. And I'm just gonna go in on this side. Okay, so here is that VIP Club as the transition shade. I will say I thought the matte went on really nice, blended out really nice, went on really easily. So it does feel like a better formula from that mini Wild West palette that I have. Again, it's just not good. So now I'm gonna go in with that matte with the glitter. Not my favorite with a matte with the glitter, but it's subtle, and you know, this is supposed to be like a fun like holiday palette. So it's fine. I think you can barely see the glitter, so it kind of works as a traditional matte, but it looks like it's going on pretty nice too. Okay, I thought that matte went on really well, and to be honest, I don't see the glitter in it at all, so I'm not worried about it. It's kind of, ColourPop does that too. I think it's kind of gimmicky, to be honest. I'd rather just have, but it's not like you don't really see it too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with those 2 shimmers. I'm gonna put the darker one on the outer half of my eyelid, and then I'm gonna put the pink one in the like inner half, and then I'm gonna go in with that like Moondust Space Cowboy shade kind of in the inner corner. So let's go ahead and let's do that. This is the Endless Party. So let's do this one because these are the shades that really, let's be honest, these are the shades that everybody really cares about. Mattes are mattes. It's actually going on really nice. So I'm using a brush. I like to use a brush. I'll use my fingers, but what I find out is if I use my fingers sometimes, it actually makes the shadows hard pan. So I try not to do it too much unless it's a shadow that just goes on better. But this is going on really nice. So that's half on this side. Okay, so that shadow is really pretty. It's a really nice shimmer. So I'm gonna go in with that A-List Energy. And again, I'm gonna go in on the inner half of the eyelid. And let's see how this one applies. That's actually really nice too. This one has a little bit more fallout, I think, but let's see. And I did my foundation. So it's going on good. This one I went a little bit more, so I'll have to kind of bring it over in. But yeah, it's applying really nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with that really light shade just to kind of show what it looks like on my brow bone. And I kind of feel like it's too dark for the brow bone. So that shade is just kind of there. So I'm gonna use it kind of as a base for the Space Cowboy shade. And now I'm gonna go in with that Space Cowboy shade. And let's go in on the inner corner and also on the brow bone. Now I normally wouldn't use all these shimmers. I'm just trying to use all the shades. Now this one's got a lot of glitter. But I wanted to show how they look on the eye and kind of go in. So I'm gonna go in with the inner corner. So what I would probably do in the future is I would use one of the shimmers, either the peach or the cool taupe, and then use the Space Cowboy. The Space Cowboy shade is bigger than all the other shades, so that's good because I think that's probably going to be the one that is utilized the most. And next up I'm going to use this eyeliner. This is the Space Cowboy shade, and I'm going to use this to line the lower lash line. Now it's a light color, but I really like it. I will probably go in with one of like the transition shade and kind of line a little bit more just to make it a little bit darker. But actually I really like this. I really like this shade because it's a nice light color. And it's not going to necessarily age me too much, or let's hope. Okay, so finish that. Now I'm going to go and put some mascara on, touch up anything I need to, and then come back and give you my final thoughts on the eyeshadow palette and the foundation. Okay, so I went ahead and just kind of put some mascara on. So let's talk about the eyeshadow palette first. I really like it. I thought it's really cute. You're gonna get like a consistent, nice, glittery look. However, at $49, it's way overpriced. Now, if it's $49 because of the shadows, they're glitter, they're cute, they're good. I like them, the Moondust shadow, and I like having it in a palette and not like as a single shadow. And I think the colors are perfect. I think it's a really good little palette. However, it's at $49, this is just overpriced. Like, so I think this is like a $25 palette. So 25, 30, like 30 tops. I think that makes it worth it. Again, in this shade, is just shouldn't be there. It should be something else. Like put another Moondust shadow in there. Now, I don't know why it's so expensive, if it's because of the shadows or if it's because of this contraption here. If it's because of this contraption, money poorly spent, because again, this is gimmicky and this is going to turn it off. Like this isn't going to, I can only speak for myself, but I just can't, like, I don't know. And yeah, so good little palette, really like it, but I wouldn't pay more than $30 about it. This will probably be my last PR package from Urban Decay, because this was like a random, this is the first time I've ever gotten an eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. So they didn't contact me, they didn't send anything. So this probably will be the last Urban Decay eyeshadow palette review I do, because I probably won't get another one again. However, the foundation I love, and the foundation, like I said, I was using the wrong shade, and like the 12, I think it matches really, really well. So now I have two, so I will probably like maybe mix and match with them, but I think it's just good. It's a good foundation. Now, you're not gonna like it if you have dry skin, so I would say that. And you're not going to like it if you ever have patches. So if you have like, sometimes I'll use the tretinoin and I'll have like, not a bad reaction, but my skin will, you know, dry and then peel. I can't use it. Like that's just, even if I moisturize and everything, because it will, if you have like any sort of like dry patches, dry skin, it's going to cling to it. So that's what I would say. If you have really dry skin, I would say you're probably not going to like it. However, I have normal combination to oily skin, and actually not even oily. I have oily parts and I can sweat. So like, but honestly outside, like this is what I've been wearing when my son has, like, he's in hockey and he's in football and he's in a lot of things. So I've been wearing this, easy to put on, really fast and easy to put on. You have to work fast because it does dry down, but it dries down really, really well. I use the It Cosmetics powder. So I think it's a really good powder with it. It works really well. It's a really good foundation, and at $40, I think is a good price given the pricing. Is it my favorite? It's a medium coverage, and I think it's not my favorite foundation. Like if I'm going out, this is not what I'm going to pick, but for a medium coverage, it's one of my favorites. It's definitely one that the more I use it, the more I really like it. But for me, it is like a daily, or I need to look good like all day on the weekend, but it's just a really good foundation. So that's all I can say. It's like waterproof, sweatproof, all of that. I live in South Florida. It's hot, it's humid, it rains, it's good. So highly recommend this. Again, I like this, just not at $49. And that shade for Space Cowboy for the eyeliner, I really like it. You know, it's a light shade. I never would have bought this, but I really, really like this, and I could see myself buying it again. So there you go. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.